The SEC is suing CZ, but Binance is fighting back. So I'm sure yesterday you all saw the headlines or felt the market dump because at around 4 p.m. our time, Bloomberg broke the story that the SEC was suing Binance. The SEC has presented 13 charges against the exchange and certain affiliates for failing to register as a securities exchange and therefore operating illegally in the US. So this is basically a rehash of the XRP case, where the SEC claims that a cryptocurrency is a security by selectively applying the Howey test, a test from like the 1930s, which is designed to identify securities, and then litigates on the assumption that they are. Binance is being sued because it's distributing these contested tokens. There's also accusations of commingling user funds and of trade washing, which is basically artificially inflating the trading volume on the exchange. The first issue that most people have with this approach is that whilst if we approach everyone's intentions in good faith and assume that the SEC are just doing their job, the way that they are doing it is unnecessarily adversarial. So, for example, last year we had the CEO of Kraken and the CEO of Coinbase, a publicly traded company, come out and explicitly state that the SEC had refused to engage or discuss anything with them before starting litigation. And CZ's response yesterday painted a similar picture. Quote, "Today, despite our efforts at a productive engagement, the SEC abandoned and denied us due process and instead unilaterally chose to litigate." What we do know from CZ's response, which is interesting, is that Binance had offered to settle with the SEC, so there is within that an admission of guilt. Ultimately, though, with the US being such a vital market to Binance to have a footing in, I imagine that they're going to be working towards a settlement rather than looking to contest this in court. If they were to contest it in court, they might risk losing the ability to trade in the US during that period. The second issue that people have with this is that Bloomberg just posted the bombshell headline prior to the SEC's official announcement. This caused unnecessary disruption in the market, panic and FUD, a sudden sell-off that doesn't exactly fit with the SEC's remit to protect investors. This is a problem not just because Bloomberg caused that disruption potentially, but also because Bloomberg itself has the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index, so they actually have their own crypto funds. So it seems a little bit against the SEC's remit again that somebody within their organization leaked to a trading firm this information prior to it being made public. The next moves in this will be crucial, so if things go quiet, I'd suggest that's probably the best sign. What you want is the lawyers behind the scenes looking to find an agreement in which Binance pays a fine for its past transgressions and agrees to some mandated operation rules going forward. Basically a resolution behind closed doors. However, it sounds like that's what they were already trying to do, and so the sudden news story broke because that process broke down. The worst case scenario is lots of claim and counterclaim in the press, which will just damage not just the market but also the reputation of crypto as a whole. Back on the chart, we're still within this falling wedge. The breakdown broke the bull flag that we were building at the top end of this wedge, so we'll remove that line as well as the support here, so we'll get rid of that. However, the big breakdown candle did respect our lower trend line, so we are still in a bullish falling wedge formation, which indicates a breakout and makes it possible if we finally get some volume into the market. We are, however, definitely not out of the woods in terms of this news story, so be prepared for a full-on breakdown. Closing a daily candle below this trend line and below the support down here, I would say at around the 25,260 mark would constitute a full breakdown or a bearish turn from this. If we were to do that, however, I would simply short Bitcoin down to the 200 moving average, which is currently at 24,165. Right now, we have limited exposure to the market. We closed out most of our USDT spot positions yesterday once we broke through these weekly moving averages. Anybody copying trading us on Annie, we closed their positions for them, and we also put out on our Discord to anybody following the trades in there what we were doing so that they could respond in the same way that we were. We have, however, kept most of our BTC positions open, and indeed we've got some really nice trades open in PAXG, which tracks gold, which is doing well currently against Bitcoin as it's breaking down. Long term, we're in a bullish formation. That still stands. We just need the volume to break out, and ultimately if we do see a breakdown here, there are plenty of shorting opportunities as well as the ability to buy more Bitcoin at lower prices. Don't forget to join the Discord. We'd love to have you there. You'll be updated on everything that we're doing in real time. Get all of our alt trade signals and news updates for free. Thanks.